All right, so I guess I can say hi to my so far zero viewers, and so today we've got our our whatever it is part series of every country in the world, and so I go to classic explorer mode, and so this stream is about Guat. All right, and so we do play. Okay, and then I adjust the screen and things a little bit, and we've got our normal daily challenge sort of settings. All right. Yeah, so this is sort of what Guatemalan urban areas look like. It's fairly similar to southern Mexico. What it doesn't look like is Mexican towns near the United States, so that's interesting. It's like there's a small observatory on top of here. Okay. Um, so often in an environment like this, advertising is a way to figure out where you are, like there will be addresses, things like that. Looks like we're in a smaller town, right? Like someplace that's okay. Uh, Agencia San Luis Toliman. So that's probably wait, San Lucas Toliman. So that's probably where we are, right? Um, Okay, so we do a quick look for San Lucas Toliman, which might just be Toliman on the map. Um, Not seeing it. Okay, I'll do another zoom in on the more populated part, up on top of the hills here. Okay, so not finding anything. So I've got a plunk, near Guatemala City. Okay, there's a big volcano. Um, so that indicates that we're not uh, near the coast, and we're also not up here either. We're in the belt where most of the Guatemalan population lives here. Um, let's see, I think the volcanoes tend to be sort of close to Quetzaltenango and Guatemala City. Let's see, it was Toliman, right? San Lucas Toliman, there it is. Okay, so not very big. Yeah. So streets intersect at right angles. That it turns out, um, even Mayan cities have streets that intersect at right angles. So here it's not, just sort of a rationalist, American thing. Like kind of like in older cities in the United States that you know that uh, that in fact like the twisty sort of medieval streets look is for people that were designing cities essentially like to not be raided by people on horses. And so the as I said, the Mayan tradition actually was for streets that intersect at right angles. Okay, yeah, so I didn't get going fast enough to try to pinpoint it further, but you can see that that this that that even a town that is not very big like this, is dense, right? Like the buildings were right next to each other. Um, which you find differences in cultural preference there that, in a lot of countries, a smaller town will have space in it. There will be essentially yards around each house. But here, they're packed together, in and that is fairly widespread in Latin America. That cities, for instance, in Colombia look like that also, or Ecuador. Um, okay, so looking at it, that's That's the volcano that we were looking at then is Atitlan, and there's San Pedro. There were two of them. And so that, that now is one to remember is that, if we see two volcanoes, maybe we're here. Okay. So, oh, I have viewers already after just a few minutes. Hi, viewers. Okay. Yeah, the red tuk-tuks, like that's a Guat thing. The pole with the painted poles like this are a Guat thing. Um, let's see, the Pentecostal church, well, that's kind of general, right? Like there's a lot of those. Um, San Benito Petén. Okay, Petén is a known area of Guatemala. Petén is the northern part, which is relatively flat. Um, well, and so, okay, so it's San Benito Petén. So it's, let's see, so it's up here somewhere, but then the department is actually called Petén Department, right? So we have San Benito. Um, hmm. Yeah, you'll also notice the northern part of Benito is a large national park. Um, Reserva de Biosfera Maya. Um, and let's see. So we have San Benito Petén. Okay. Um, we have Zona 1, which that might indicate someplace larger, actually. Like, I'm wondering also in Petén, Flores is the largest town. Let's see if it has. Yeah, okay, so there's 7th Avenue, 8th, Ninth. What's first? Wait, first may be on the island, right? Because Flores, it turns out, was the last Mayan city to be captured by the Spanish. Obviously it's this is a Spanish name, but that there was a Mayan settlement on this island. Um, oh, Zona Uno, right? Zone one is over here. Okay, so then I have, yeah, and now I'm wondering if maybe that I have the wrong town. Okay, well, let's keep looking around. Propane. Okay. No, no, this is hilly. Actually, this might not be Patan. Um, yeah. Also, the cross street is 18. Hmm. Oh, okay. So it was over. It was over there, which. So I guess that the zone one boundary, is not well marked here. You can see there's zone one, zone two, zone three. Oh wait, here there's zone two. So then Flores must just be this. Oh, Municipalidad de San Benito, Petén. Okay, so San Benito then is a town that is next to Flores. Okay, so that's yeah, and it looks like also you can see here, their Hospital Regional de San Benito Petén, Centro de Salud San Benito, and also the soda numbers. It goes up actually to soda 8 here. So that tells us that in fact San Benito is a lot bigger than Flores, which yeah, that I had known about Flores because of the Mayan site, and I had just assumed that that had to be the main town, right? But it turns out that San Benito is actually larger. All right. Um, so here looks relatively flat. We have, is that a coconut palm? Looks like it might be, which would indicate, I think coconut palms could be found anywhere in Guatemala, but, I think they'd be more prevalent at lower elevations, that they are, um, that they do seem to prefer yeah, yeah, those are coconut palms. Okay. Um, so I think this may not be in the volcanic highlands where most of the population of Guatemala lives. Um, uh, okay. I think I mentioned that the words for small stores vary from country to country. This is a tienda, which I think is Mexico and Central America. Um, Dominican Republic uses colmado, although I think tienda is a possibility there. Oh, there's a Tigo logo. Tigo is, a cell phone company that's found. Yeah, there's on the basketball hoop here also. Also, this thatched sort of roof appearance, I think, I found, tends to correlate in a lot of countries with it's not something that you find more in up in the mountains. That I think this is uh, a seriously tropical lowland. Like maybe on the Pacific coast here. Is my thought on that. Okay, so we have then. Yeah, there's more. There's another. Okay, you'll notice the poles here. Um, the poles look very much like the kind of standard electrical equipment that they have in North America. If you are a North American and want to know about standard electrical equipment in North America, go outside. Um, for others, I'd say, well, that's something that you kind of get with experience. But I mean, it looks like it looks like United States type stuff. We have Manejo Sostenible de Bosques. Let's see, Sustainable Forest Management, Sala de Ventas, Monterrico. Okay, so Monterrico might be our location. Um, Candelaria. Okay. And then in the other direction, El Banco. So that we must be on the border between Candelaria and El Banco. Okay, so I didn't. Yeah, so this was so the region of the country was right. Turns out, okay, so Monterrico is there, Candelaria, La Candelaria is there. Okay, so Monterrico is looks like maybe is a little bit more of the urban area here, but there's kind of a strip of scattered village along the coast here. Um, Also, that as has been remarked, some of the things about Guatemala, of course, it's a topic on Hey Pando's Twitch stream, and that something that he's pointed out is that in a lot of places in Guatemala there is actually not a coastal road. Um, here there is, but in some other places there aren't. And I think looking at the satellite pictures of the areas in question, I think that the areas without a coastal road may be very large agricultural estates. They're commercial farms that grow things like bananas and sugarcane, and that they just since it's a large private property anyway, like they just didn't build a road through it. Um, or at least not one open to the public. Um, okay, so we have Bodine 933. It looks like a U.S. truck actually that drove here, which is quite possible. In fact, I know someone who did that in about 1970. I think as a that he drove a truck from the San Francisco area, I think, to Guatemala City. Um, let's see. So yeah. So this looks. We have Capital de la Cultura, and there's this logo here for a city, but it doesn't say which one it is. Um, so I'm thinking this is someplace relatively large, possibly Guatemala City. There's a Walmart ad. Um, Walmarts are very common in Mexico and Guatemala, as well as the United States and Canada. Um, and Unlike in the United States and Canada, Walmarts tend to be in larger urban areas in Guatemala and Mexico. Um, oh, there, yeah, and so there's the Walmart over that, the actual Walmart over there. There's a Carl's Jr. Um, it's not a Hardee's. I guess that they follow the California, version. Okay, so I think this. Also, there's a divided highway, which there are very few of in a country like this. That almost would have to be Guatemala City, and that we have. Um, so the orientation is it's about like the CA1, you know, um, which I'm almost wondering if we could just look for the Walmart and the other things, but um, we don't really know which part of the city it's in, or, indeed, even if it is in Guatemala City. We haven't confirmed that yet, but it looks likely from the appearance. Um, okay, we have Pollo Campero. This I've seen in a bunch of places. I think it may be a large chain, and I don't know if it's specific to Guatemala or not. I think it may also be in Mexico. Um, okay. Um, yeah, Comex I've also seen in Mexico. Tikal Futura, Trebol, 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so it was on this general kind of large strip here. This is not in the center of the city, like which has an old, I think an old historic area with the, because after all, like Guatemala City is the city on this site was actually founded, as I remember, after a big natural disaster, either a volcano or an earthquake that damaged the previous location where the Maya city was, which was logically is Antigua Guatemala. So this means the former Guatemala, and then that at some point, this site was that they moved at least a lot of the city out of this site over to here. Um, and I believe that was the result of either a volcano or an earthquake. And there have been multiple major disasters in this area. In fact, there has been a volcanic eruption in the Guatemala City area just in the last few years, as I remember. One not particularly large, and it was I believe it was either this volcano or that one. Right. Um, so you can see, volcanoes are very common in this area, and so the other question, that there's all these people living right next to active volcanoes, right? Like Seattle, Portland, Mexico City, Guatemala City, Quito, and why do people do that? And that it turns out that the answer is that volcanic ash is a very good fertilizer. That the soil in these areas, is much more productive than in say some area with a similar climate that does not have volcanoes. And like for instance up here, in Chiapas, I think is much less volcanic, but has a similar climate. Um, and then, that also the other factor that causes people to live in the highlands in Guatemala is that the agricultural productivity is higher in the lower temperature of the highlands. That it turns out that hot, wet climates um, tend to produce plants that are kind of all cellulose and no nutrients. The Amazon is particularly notorious for this. That there's vast quantities of plant life, and none of it you could eat. Um, and so the concentration of population in particular is right here around Guatemala City, and and around Quetzaltenango. And Quetzaltenango is named after a bird, the quetzal, which also is uh, the quetzal, also the Guatemalan currency unit is named after the quetzal. And so if you see a country where the monetary unit is Q, only Guatemala has the monetary unit Q, and we'll probably see that, somewhere in this stream. These stripes here on the road, white stripes, a whole bunch of them. That's something that you see in Guatemala. I don't know if anyone else does that. Um, this looks like a sign that is deteriorated, but it looks like a Mayan place name. Uh, Traxa, or that in Guatemala, I've noticed that the Mayan place names tend to be outlying. Um, the highlands, of course, also have a large Maya population, but for historical reasons, a lot of the town names in the Guatemalan highlands actually come from the Nahuatl language, which was spoken by the Aztecs and others up here. And this had to do with that in colonial times, a lot of the Spanish army in Guatemala actually came from up here. Um, okay, those look sort of a bit like the New Zealand things that they're called cabbage trees. Okay, there's another Tigo sign. Um, yeah. So then the next question is, if we're in Guatemala, where are we? Yeah, I've noticed Guatemala has some nice conifer trees. Some it's definitely often the forest is not what you're expecting at all. Yeah, look at that. It's mostly pines, or some other kind of conifer, but that this is not a cold climate forest where that's sort of normal. Let's see. Um, this isn't flat, right? That we're probably uh, so I think we're in the highlands somewhere. You'll notice that there aren't a lot of that we're at least not seeing. Oh yeah, there's a banana tree, but like there's not a lot of that kind of thing, right? Um, that isn't a great diagnostic, but that also indicates that we're probably not at lower elevation. Um, Yeah, then there's the question, is the banana plant a tree or not? Which it turns out has no good. Okay, so we have Partido Patriota. Alta Verapaz is one of the departments. I think that's up here, like where Huehuetenango is. Let's see, does it say? No, that's Huehuetenango department. Quiche. Um, oh, Alta Verapaz. Okay, so this is um heading into the northern lowlands, that so it was not, yeah, so that makes sense that this area is not as elevated as the area here with the big volcanoes. um so that's, I guess that's something useful to know. And looking at the things on the map, how the hills look. I'm thinking that this is, still hilly but not higher in elevation, and the Pacific coast is flat and mostly cleared for cultivation. And as I said, that this is kind of the land of it tends to be a land of big estates with large industrial export crops like bananas and sugarcane. And I haven't seen oil palms, but I know that Guatemala does have quite a few of those, because I happen to have noticed this actually at the store, looking at labels on food. Um, which I've thought about, like that, that you actually do see food items at the store from Guatemala, and one of the things that you notice is a lot of things containing palm oil come from Guatemala, and I assume this must be because they grow it. Um, there are a few things that come in mind. The ducal black refried beans with palm oil, and also there are these bouillon cubes with palm oil, which they've solved the problem that that bouillon cubes had this problem that, unlike like an actual chicken soup, that there's not a lot of fat in a bouillon cube, and that that what they did with these things is that they have bouillon cubes now that have palm oil in them, and so it supplies a little bit of the fat that you'd have from actual chicken soup. Um and so another interesting thing about that is that palm oil, it turns out, is a solid at room temperature. It's kind of a light red orange sort of colored substance, but like most of us have never actually seen it. I have seen palm oil for sale in Asian grocery stores, so where you could actually see what it looked like. So that's what it is that they take the fruits off of the oil palm, and then I'm not sure what the processing is exactly, but I think it does involve pressing them and possibly heating them. Maybe the oil is, I mean, the palm oil is free flowing at elevated temperatures, right? It has a melting point that I think is not far above room temperature. Um, and Yeah, but I don't know the exact details of how it works. But what I am fairly sure of is that palm oil is produced in Guatemala, among other places. Okay, so our first game we got 20,000 points. Not bad for a map this size. Um, you know, so when we do the breakdown, you can see I got, yeah, a few of them I got fairly good. I got 329 meters on that first round, right, where I had the right village. Um, but we had no 5Ks on that. Okay, so we can go back and then wait, view summary, play again. Okay. Um, yeah, in fact, in the description of the map here, it even says that the name Guatemala comes from Nahuatl. So um, that misspelled on the GeoGuessr page. I should write them an email about that. But um, that so even the name of the country comes from Mexico. Um, and that so we Okay, so I guess we can start another game then. And all right, so we're in a boat. We have, looks like, modest hills. Uh, I mean, there could be a volcano hidden behind the clouds, but um, yeah. So looking at this, then I'm thinking, it can't be here. I'm thinking, this area could be toward these lakes, or okay. Um, Wait, which direction are the okay, so that's in the east, which, okay, that's odd. Could we be on the Pacific side? Um, yeah, we could be maybe in here or on the Pacific side. Um, hmm. I also suspect we're not going to get anywhere with any information on it. Um, Let's see. The guy's shirt, maybe if he were the operator, might tell us something, but I can't really read anything on it. Um, um, no, no, run, eat something. In fact, the shirt is in English. Okay, so yeah. Now on language, I've only seen Spanish so far. That uh, Guatemala does have one of the highest percentages of indigenous language speakers of any country in the Americas. I think it's something like 40% of the population of Guatemala can speak an indigenous language, but there's a lot of them. Um, they're all Maya languages, but like they're significantly different from each other. Um, and that the it turns out the ancient Maya language, the one that has hieroglyphic expressions, um, was a specific Maya language. That the hieroglyphs were based on a standardized language, um, based on Yucatec, and Yucatec is the language spoken up here. Classical Mayan language, was used in Guatemala, but it wasn't the language from there. That it was a different Maya language. Okay, so that was actually the boundary between Guatemala and Honduras on the Atlantic side. Um, so this means that this was a spectacularly bad guess, right? All right. There's Tigo again. Seems to be the biggest advertiser in Guatemala. Um, they do also have Claro in Guatemala, but it seems like Tigo is bigger. Um, and so Tigo is it. I looked it up. It's based in Colombia. You do find it in Ecuador and Guatemala as well, and oddly in Ghana, they have Tigo. Um, I think I've also seen it in the Dominican Republic, but I'd have to check that. Um, yeah, in fact, there's Tigo, there's Claro, the other. Okay, so we have Mr. Robot. Let's see. So this looks like it's maybe a smaller city. Oh, that there was. You'll also notice the Alto sign. It's not Pare, it's Alto, like in Mexico. Um, that the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and South American countries use pare instead. Um, let's see. So there's some hilliness here, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe this is the highlands, but I don't know. Uh, could that be the center of Guatemala City? I mean, that's yeah, or I mean, it's not particularly large, which like makes me think maybe this is this could be Quetzaltenango. Yeah. The next largest towns after Guatemala City are Quetzaltenango and Huehuetenango here. Um, okay. So let's see. So if that is the middle of Guatemala City, we are um yeah, it's to our yeah, so we would be up here maybe. Um Hard to say. Yeah, I'm wondering if this does. Oh wait, that's the historic center of Guatemala City. This is more where the large buildings are, I think. Oh, there's a neighborhood called Oakland. That's interesting. Um, oh, here we have 8th Avenue, Zone 8. Yeah, Zone 8. Okay. Um, 8th Avenue. Okay. So I'm trying to remember the other time that we saw similar street signs was not here, right? It was in the town that's next to Flores, San Benito de Petén. So that means that there's actually a standardized design for street signs that is used in more than one place in the country, um, which countries vary a lot on whether there's a single standardized street sign. Like the classics, of course, are Sweden and Finland. Have or Denmark have very standardized street signs throughout the country. And the United States, for instance, has hundreds of different designs, although they are similar in being long, thin street signs. That in South America you see street signs that are shorter and taller. Um, so I guess here, that we have though that we've seen that one with the white letters. I mean, the white signs with black letters, and it was in a particular font, which was not, that I guess we'll remember it when we see more of those. Um, and Also that both, yeah, they were both cities that have zonas. So those are the zona system then must be fairly common even in cities that are not that large. But Guatemala City has a lot of them. You can see there's 16. Um, and then this is Mixco, which is a different city, and you can see that they actually have the zones marked on the map as being Mixco zones, as opposed to here Zone 11, is in Guatemala City. Okay. Um, Bienvenidos a Melchor de Mencos. Uh, Tienda Gumarcar. Yeah, see that J at the end of a word. That is not typically Spanish, and that I've noticed that appears in Mayan languages. So and that's specifically, like, you wouldn't find that in Nahuatl, right? Like a place name ending in vowel J like that. You wouldn't find that around Mexico City. Like that is a Mayan name. Uh, we have Ciudad Guatemala that way, which suggests that we are near but not in Guatemala City. Uh, is there a Melchor de Mencos? Not obvious. There's Mixco. There's Villanueva. Um, no, not noticing anything obvious. Okay, so um, hmm. All right. Um, okay, we have Tikal and Flores are that way, and Belize is that way, suggesting that we are, in fact, not near Guatemala City at all. We are. Tikal is up in the forest preserve. It's a important Mayan site. I mentioned Flores already. Belize is that way. Um, okay, there's just the one crossing with Belize. It looks like. Well, no, maybe there's one down here. No, maybe not. Yeah, okay, so there's only one road, it appears, that crosses the border, the CA-13. Um, let's see, Barrio Fayabon. Yeah. So here the gas prices give you an idea of the currency scale, that I think there's something like 7 or 8 quetzales to a dollar. Um, maybe there's more actually. I mean, those prices were in liters, right? Um, Tikal, Flores. Feliz viaje te desea. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that was in fact the border. It looks like. Okay, so that's so yeah, that it wasn't prominent when you were zoomed out like this that there yeah, that's an important thing to check is that sometimes towns on borders don't show up well. I've noticed that this is a general thing. So that's where Melchor de Mencos is it is on the Belizean border. All right. Um we have Bush Light. Okay, yeah, yeah, that indicates you're probably somewhere near the United States, right? You know that. Oh, there's Tecate is you know is actually sold in Guatemala. I did not know that. Okay, the Claro sign. Um, okay, so again, how would you know this isn't Mexico? Well, you know that it's probably not northern Mexico from the general appearance, right? Yeah, that the poles and wires look kind of U.S.-ish, or Canada, which is essentially the same thing for this. Yeah, that's a weird looking pole, though. Like that's one that I've not seen. Um, yeah, the painting of the poles is very Guat. Yeah. So there, bananas and coconut palm in particular, I think those are kind of very cold sensitive, and like that suggests that we're probably not in the highlands. But it is somewhat hilly. Oh wait, Isabal is an area. I think that's another one of the departments. Um, yeah, Lago de Isabal, the city is there. Um, Polideportivo Morales Isabal. Okay, that's an ad for something that may not be in the immediate vicinity, but Gallo Cerveza. Let's see. Puesto de Control Modesto Mendez Alto. Um, so what is it? What is it a checkpoint for? Um, yeah, there's a checkpoint for something, but I don't know what it is. Uh, Military base. Destacamento Militar Modesto Mendez, Primera Brigada de Infantería. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking, wait, there's Poptune 72 in Santa Elena. There's Poptune up there. Santa Elena, I think maybe farther up, or is it? Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe we're on CE13. Wait, wasn't it Modesto Mendez was where we are? Yeah, yeah, okay. Um so there was the crossroads that had remember there was the gas station there. Uh and so then there's the okay. So no idea, what the checkpoint or military facility is specifically for. Um, but yeah, that it was Isabel on the side that was the department name. Okay, yeah, there was one of the red tuk tuks again. Um, we have Cuevas Actun Khan. That looks like a Mayan name. Um, yeah, there's the red tuk tuk. Yeah, that I've seen these in multiple locations, and in fact, there's a video that I've seen where they had a bunch of them driving in formation. In was it was a video put out by a town in Guatemala. Okay, we have Protestant church. Yeah, see, that's a U.S. Electricity meter, which I think GeoPeter on one of his streams noticed this about Mexico that they use these, and they also use them in Guatemala. Um, and the poles, are also very U.S. looking. Um, oh, that is a Norfolk Island pine or something similar, right? Except it's not a Norfolk Island pine. The branching pattern is wrong, but it's some conifer with that kind of foliage. Those are, warmer climates things. Okay, I'm thinking from the appearance that this is lowlands again. Um, Also, there's more space here, right? Like that, like those, like the Highland small town we saw, had buildings packed closely together, and this is not like that. Like that. Okay, there's some hills here. So maybe we're more like around Coban here. Um, Wait, there was a political sign there. Those sometimes have locations on them. Um, Alcalde Mayor, right? Daniel Leonardo doesn't appear to say which city that the ad is for. Okay. Also, banner over road advertising things. Yeah, that I've noticed is big in Mexico and Central America. Is we have Ling. Okay. It was Flores. Okay. Um, so yeah, remember we had a previous round in San Benito over here. Okay. Um, yeah, I've also been noticing, like quite a few urban rounds, that the algorithm, who knows how it works, but that it will often give you a whole lot of rural results. And that in Guatemala it does seem to put you in town a lot. Okay, so we've got that for our second game. Uh, you know, uh, yeah, not too bad. You can see, in particular, that guess really hurt. And that one wasn't great either. Okay, so so we've got our third game. All right, we have Los Mejores Precios Huehuetenango. Um, okay, so there's Quetzaltenango and Huehuetenango here. I think these are like 50 kilometers apart or something like that. Um, okay, we could be sort of closer to the center, right? That. So this kind of architecture, is very much, like Guatemala or southern Mexico. Okay, that's what I'm wondering about is if there are street signs, like especially that. Okay, we're seeing, for instance, here Oficina Jurídica, the legal office, kind of suggests maybe we're close to downtown, like where the hmm, wait, was that no? Wait, a las ruinas Ortelwe. Um, so is there a pre-Hispanic city in here that maybe it's hmm, yeah, nothing clear. Okay. We've got, there's a big mountain. And as I said, like the populated areas are up in the mountains because of the higher elevation, and volcanic fertility. Wait, is this the chicken place with for the yeah, these flags? I think this is yeah, we've seen. Oh, it's the brand of beer, Gallo Cerveza. Okay, so that's another thing that we know is guat. Likely is Gallo Cerveza. Yeah, yeah, they're everywhere. That maybe it's actually from maybe it's the beer from Huehuetenango. I should check that at the end of the round. Um, Pollolandia. Okay. Um, Sounds like a chicken restaurant that would be in Brazil, right? Okay. Estadio Municipal Caibil Balam, which again is something that looks like a Mayan name. Um, okay, so it was not that far from the center, but it was out here a bit. So what were we on? Primera Calle Zona Ocho. Okay. Um, so we didn't see a zone sign, but like they do have them here. Um, so that appears to be general. That we have those in a lot of towns. Um, and yeah. Oh, what was the name of the beer that right? We're going to I can do a new tab. Let's try if there's a specific beer. So cerveza, um, and I am not getting search results. That wait, cerveza Google search. Okay, this doesn't make sense. Well, it isn't. We'll just keep the stream going. Right. So we have second round out of five. Um, La Frontera, the border might mean that we're near one of the borders of Guatemala, right? Looks like we're in or near the highlands. Again, those look maybe like the ones to the north. Um, Wait, did we see this exact? I think did we see this? Is this a repeat? I think this is a repeat because I remember this. Yeah, yeah. Tikal Flores Belize. Okay, this is a repeat. Well, all right. So it was Melcortemencos. And then yeah, there's the border posts. The border posts were there, so it was Gasolinera Jaguar. Yeah, so that yeah, so we so yeah, this is something that happens in GeoGuessr all the time is repeats, right? Okay. Um Coconut palms again. So probably not higher elevation. Um we've got is that cane? I think that might be sugar cane there. Um if it is, like large commercial farms, as I said, tends to mean Pacific Coast or nearby, which would fit everything else, right? That it's uh, wait, except are there are hills there? Okay, yeah, so this probably isn't the Pacific Coast. I forgot about that part. Um, All right, we have dog. Um, we have melons. Yeah, this actually looks kind of dry. I'm wondering, what if there's something about that. Oh, okay. Q100 again. Q is the currency unit. That means you're in Guatemala. Of course, domain name. Guayacan, Cooperativa Guayacan. Um, something about winning. Is this a contest? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, Guayacan looks like it could be a place name, right? It's more a Nahuatl looking name than a Mayan one, but Tehuacan, for instance, is in Puebla State near Mexico City, I think. Guayacan. Hmm. Wait, was that I thought that said Ciudad Mita on it. No, Comercial de Leon, Asuncion Mita, which I think also is yeah. Here's something Comercial de Leon looks like it is on the uh a okay. Yeah, so there we did get the name. Asuncion Mita is where we were. Okay. Uh, yeah. Just curious, what's the Jutiapa department? Okay, so I didn't see that anywhere. Um, right. Okay, so yeah, so it being less mountainous was, that it wasn't, like it was over here, but substantial. So I guess that in that case we were near El Salvador. Okay. Um, this okay looks more city, right? We have Clean Depot. Um, yeah, maybe this is a smaller city though. Like looking at it now. Um, oh, there's a volcano there. Okay, so now we know that we have to be near Guatemala City or toward Huehuetenango and Quetzaltenango. Um, right, we have okay. Now down here I saw okay, can't read that, but there's a municipality on the sign. It looks like Greyhound bus logo, Congo SA. So it's not not a Greyhound bus, but yeah. For one thing, I don't think Greyhound has a Latin American operation. That they just connect to buses that go there. I know that you can take buses to Mexico City from North America because I've actually seen someone with the ticket on the bus. So um, so at least they're okay. That's the same street sign that we saw before. Zona 3. So we're in some place that's it has three zones at least. We have Calle Rodolfo Robles. Um, okay, so plunk it in it has to be in this general area, right? Oh, here, Quetzaltenango. Okay, so there we're in Quetzaltenango. Um, that was that sign was right back here, right? We have yeah, Libreria Technica. Um, We have Calle Rodolfo Roble Zona Tres. Okay, so that's Zona Tres. Looks like they're mostly numbered streets. Um, yeah, so where's Rodolfo Robles? Um, oh, Zero Avenue. Okay, that's ominous. Okay, Calle Rodolfo Robles, Zona Tres. Other thing is, it's a bit hard to figure out. Okay, that's Zone 6 there. Um, so it was okay. So it was actually in the center. It looks like. Okay, so we were started out on 18th. It looks like. And then uh, so where was Rodolfo Robles? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it yeah. So when you have mostly numbered streets, that if you see something that isn't, it's usually something larger, which here it was, but we just didn't find it. Okay. So I think this is the last round then. Yep, 5 out of 5. Um, looks like I've got a silver and not a gold, which I can't remember if I had a silver on Guatemala. I think I did. Um, complexes E and H. Um, we have recycling bins, right? There's the bananas again. We have probably not. We have street horses. We have Assemblies of God. Pentecostal church. Esmirna might be a location. Um, uh, Oaxactun Flores. Okay, so that's another great, Mayan looking name there. Oaxactun. I think I've even seen it on the map, but let's see, Oaxactun. Um, there's Oaxactun there. Um, oh yeah, there's Group A and B. So these are those signs with complexes referred to. This is an uh, Oaxactun archaeological park. Okay, so um, we return to the start. We had Carmetta. Okay, yep, both sides actually. Although you know what, we're not in Ghana, so you have A and complexes A and B, and of course, meta is always subject to change. Whenever they refilm the area, so uh, you don't want to trust it too much. All these people now being confused with the new Senegal coverage that doesn't have holes in the sky. Um, okay, so yeah, it looks like we're probably in the. Yeah, I'm not finding. Yeah, what's the direction of the street? It's. Yeah, it does look correct to be this. Um, yeah, you'll notice here, Parroquia Virgen de los Desamparados. This is a Catholic church, so this is not the probably from the name, so it's not the Assemblies of God one that I saw, which I think is not plotted. Okay, so 5K'd it. Okay, 17 meters. All right, so I guess we can close out with our best round of the stream. Viewing summary: 20,533 points, which for a map this size is pretty good. Just that one was bad. The other ones were pinpointed fairly well. We had 954 meters, 163, Yeah, there was one guess that was 133 kilometers off, and then the rest were actually all within a kilometer. Okay, so that last one, yeah, pretty good game. Um, and so I guess then we're done with the Guatemala stream, right? You know that I play 3 games on these things. You know they come out to be about an hour in length, and then these come in alphabetical order. So logically, after Guatemala, of course, comes Guam. No, no, really, because it's GT and then it's GU, So, yep, GUAT comes before GUAM.